everyone, this is Curtis with Weed Whacker Lawn Care. Hey, today is Sunday, and I'm gonna just tell y'all what's been going on. Last week, I attempted to go out and do some lawn care work. Couldn't. It was raining all week. I went out to pick my trailer up, and it started raining on me. And I had a number of lawns to do last week, but I couldn't do any of them because it just kept raining and raining and raining and raining and raining. I'm like, oh man. So then I thought, well, maybe the rain will stop and I'll be able to go out the weekend, Saturday, and maybe do some lawns. Nope, that didn't happen. You know, I had a number of customers calling me and asking me. I said, well, I'm gonna see what I can do. If I can, get out there, I will come out and try to mow the lawn. But it just kept raining, and as it rained and rained and rained overnight, the end of the day, it was just, man. No, I'm like, wait a minute. Am I gonna get a break to go out and do something? So I wasn't able to do anything last week, even though customers were calling me. Matter of fact, I had a customer call me there Friday, and I attempted to go out. And I said, well, I'm gonna see if I can make it. That didn't happen. It started back raining. And Saturday, same thing. Today, this morning, I got a text. The customer asked me, could I come out? And I said, well, if it's dry enough. And the customer felt, well, yeah, it is kind of wet. They were kind of afraid of it because, when you're cutting grass and if it's wet and the ground is holding water, it doesn't cut good, and it leaves a lot of ruts and uncut grass. The grass is laying down, and so when it dries out, then this grass pops up that wasn't cut due to the fact that the water was holding it down. And I said, no. I said, we'll just wait and give it some more time to basically dry out, and hopefully, I can go over and try to edge it up and mow it and trim it and blow everything off and make everything looks good. So that's what I'm being faced with, dealing with from last week until today. So hopefully I will be able to do something. So that's just been a downtime, no lawn care work all last week. So it wasn't like a vacation or anything, because no, I was always ready to go, but due to the weather, and they're predicting rain again. Matter of fact, it was raining today, and I was like, oh, come on. But it's something I've been through. I've been through this before, and it can be very what can we say? This can kind of get you down and make you just want to what can I say? Get out of it, because you got so much downtime. You're not able to go out and work and bring any income in to keep the business going, to support the business, because it's raining. It's constantly raining, and you're not working, and the bills are gonna keep coming. But for you, you're not able to work, so it's work out there, but you can't get to the customers to carry on the job. And as it keeps raining, then some areas the grass keeps getting higher and higher, and it keeps raining, and then the ground is saturated with water, and it will just create a mess. Matter of fact, it was some years back. I had done a video where a customer kept calling me. A lot of you that have been following me for some years wouldn't know about that video, but I took that video down because it was that's another story about what happened with me taking that video down, because I'll tell y'all about it. But anyway, when I mowed the lawn, the customer wanted it mowed, and I kept telling them, because it's too wet. It's too wet to mow it. Customers were like, well, it's getting high. You think you can mow it? And I was like, man, no. I'm like, oh, look, I really need it mowed. I'm like, okay. I said, but it's gonna, It may, I mean, you may get some mud tracks and all this and that in there. Now I done explained everything to the customer that it was too wet to mow, but he wanted me to mow it. So I went on and I mowed it and everything. And it was too wet to mow. It tracked it up. The backyard was holding water and it left ruts and all this and that in there, and it had mud tracks on the side and the front. But it was still looked good in the front. But then I made that video and y'all a lot of people know about that video. But I did what the customer asked me. Matter of fact, after I done the front, it was people, I mean, 5 people passed by and they asked for a business card because they wanted to get theirs done. And they say, oh, it looks good. It looks good. I like that. And it just had some mud tracks right on the side, but you knew you was going to get some of that from the weight of the mower. Oh, man. Let me tell you what happened. Customer says, well, I thought it was, I thought you was going to be more professional. I said, well, man, I called you. You called me, rather, and we went over this, and I told you, it's been raining all the time, and you done called me like 3 or 4 times wanting to get it mowed, and I told you it was too wet, and so now you telling me about something else and all this and that. And I said, well, listen, I say, this was your doing, this was your saying, and this is what you want. And I say, now you seeing something else. And I'm like, listen, I'm not falling out with you about no lawn. I said, let me tell you what we can do. We can settle this right now. I can just not mow your lawn anymore. Oh, well, no, I want you to mow it and everything. I said, no, man. It seems like there's a problem because I'm trying to cater to you for what you wanted. You wanted it mowed, and I told you it was too wet, but you wanted me to mow it anyway. So I went on and I did what you asked me to do, and now it's a problem. I said, I don't understand this. Well, I'm like, whatever. But anyway, I kept mowing it for a little while, and then it was always a problem. And what had happened was, the reason I took it down, because it was some guy that, let's see, what did he do? Oh, some old guy that used to mow the lawn or whatever, said something about something or other. And anyway, I just said, you know what, I don't have time for this. And so I'm like, if he wants to mow it, call him back. Get him back, man. I don't care. Get him back. Get him back. Call him. I say, it's a lot of lawns out here. I done mowed so many lawns across town, uptown, out of town, in town, all around. It doesn't bother me whether I mow the lawn or not. I don't care. It don't matter. I done mowed so many lawns, it don't matter. I mean, man, when you've been mowing for years and you done mowed over 1,000 or more lawns from different locations across town, uptown, in town, out of town, here and there, and done a lot of cleanups, you get to the point you don't have time to even listen to a bunch of lip about nothing, because you call for a service and you want your service done, you want your yard to look good, and you done got a lot of experience dealing with customers, a lot of experience for cleaning up properties. You know how to get in there and get out of there. You know what the customers are looking for. You know how to make the customer property look good. Now, I can't, a lot of times people, things happen to them where they eyesight go bad. It was, and what I want to say is on this is like, it was a customer I had, and I mowed her yard and everything, mowed the lawn, and edged up everything. So it was hot, and so I had mowed that yard that I think it was like on a Saturday I had mowed it. So then I get a call about on a Thursday. Curtis, don't look like you edged my yard and everything. I said, well, ma'am, I said it was growing over the sidewalk and everything in the driveway, and I took my time and I edged it and all of that. And well, I'm like, meanwhile, you got to realize, like I say, some customers have some problems and they have some eye problems. So I said, well, no. I said I edged up everything for you on your property. Everything was mowed and everything was done that day. I say now the grass has started to grow back and it's been growing ever since I mowed it. And I say, so now it's getting higher. And I say, now it needs to be mowed again. And you're going to have to edge again. Well. I said, so that, and that was just one problem, with that one. And then I had another customer, and I'm out mowing, and they tell me, oh, well, I want the yard. I want you to raise that mower up, and I wanted you to mow it high. I don't want it mowed low. I want it mowed high. So I'm like, okay. So I raised the mower up. I shaved the top of it off. The lady comes out. Hey, don't look like you mowed the lawn. I said, well, ma'am, you said you wanted it mowed high. And I said I shaved the top of it off. And I mowed it the way you wanted it. I said, you wanted it on a 5. And I said, that's where the mower is at. It's on a 5. It's like, well, can you mow it a little bit more? So I'm like, okay. So I drop it down another notch on a 4. Lady said, no. So meanwhile, I mowed it once. I done mowed it twice. So now here we go a third time. Ma'am, I'm dropping it down to a 3 now. So I drop it down on a 3, and she's okay now. I'm like, okay. So I had to mow the yard 3 times to satisfy the customer. No problem. I did it. Then I was like, oh, man. I'm like, oh. So I get that one out the way. Then, other problems that I have when I'm out. Oh, well, can they, I don't know them to get up till after 11. I'm like, wait a minute. I could have had your yard taken care of. I start out at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I could have had your yard already mowed before the heat in the day. Well, can you come after us? What? Y'all, I can't win sometimes. I can't win. Y'all don't know how hard I'm working out here and dealing with customers and all. I'm like, huh? So then it's like, you get another customer and all, and they'll call you and say, well, can you come after my dog gets through what? Well, he got to go outside and poop. So I'm like, yeah, can you come out to get through pooping? What? What? I'm like, so then, after the dog gets through pooping all over the yard, do they go out and clean the poop up? No! They ask me, can I bag the grass to pick the poop up in the grass? Oh, man! Oh, boy. Then, it go on and on and on. So the situations that I have, this lawn care is not easy, because sometimes people want their lawn mowed on a certain day. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to put this in my schedule. And come and mow it at that time. And, I'm like, okay. So I'm redoing my schedule. I'm putting my route together. And I get everything together, and I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going to head it out in the morning. And then I get a call about 7:30. Hey, Curtis, can I get my yard mowed? Huh? Yeah. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm going to fit you into the schedule. I'm going to try to make it over there today. I'll say around 12:30 or 1. I get a call back from hey, I just left. I'm out of town. I ain't coming back today. So, I'm gonna have to reschedule. I just put them into the schedule. Now you're gonna call me back and tell me you need to reschedule. Oh boy, I tell you, see some more headaches. Y'all don't know all the stuff that I go through in a year during the lawn care season. I mean, it gets hectic, and I try to accommodate everybody, try to keep everybody happy. I love to mow the lawns, I love to do it, but then sometimes it just gets outrageous where everything it just doesn't work out. I mean, due to the fact that it's raining and it rains and rains, and then all these lawns pile up, and then you go out and you try to finish them all up, and then just more and more problems. I'm in a situation now. It rained all week. Wasn't nothing I could do. Some of the lawns I would have taken care of, they didn't get taken care of because it rained. So I have to look at the situation. Is a customer going to be understanding, or how many lawns have I lost due to the fact that it was raining and I couldn't go and mow? And what some customers are telling me is, oh, well, them guys down there were mowing and all. I'm like, yeah, they were mowing. Look at your yard. Your grass all torn up and it's all slopped up and everything. Oh, yeah, they got all those mud tracks in. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at how they messed it up. I would just get rid of them. Oh, man, I would. Oh, anybody do my yard like that? Well, hey, I didn't do your yard like that. That's why I didn't come, because I knew that kind of stuff would happen. I knew something like this going to mess it up. It's going to be mud tracks. You're going to be happy. And what are you going to do? Get rid of them. You're probably going to get rid of them anyway because I didn't mow it anyway. Because you're going to be, hear what they'll do. They'll forget that it rained. They'll forget that it flooded. And oh man, it's just all kinds of problems. Then when the grass starts growing up, it gets real high, and then they're like, whoa, well, what happened to you? Why you didn't, did you forget? Oh yeah, it did. That was right. Yeah, it did. I remember that. It was flooding. I remember I couldn't even get out my driveway. I remember that. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, you good. Meanwhile, they had an attitude because the lawn wasn't mowed. I was like, wait a minute. Y'all, it was a subdivision that one time I was mowing, and I had like about 10 lawns that I was mowing in that subdivision. And I had to quit mowing it because it was a panic. Now, what happens is if they don't mow their lawn, they fine them $150. And they were like, oh, no, you got to come. But sometimes they want to have a bi-weekly mowing. And I'm like, hey, if it rains for 2 weeks, ain't nothing I can do. But they're going to be mad at me. They tell, oh, just forget it. Let's forget it. I'm like, forget it then. So I met a customer that told me, he said, man, I was there. He said, man, at home association, they're very strict in that neighborhood. And he says, yeah, you have to have that lawn. You got to mow it every week, really, to stay on key, to keep the people off of you, because they find you. They don't play over there. And I was like, man, I say it was very stressful for me when I was over there working in that neighborhood. I said, I had all them lawns, and I tried. I said, it would rain, and I was like, man, I was running over here and running over there, and I said, I've done everything I could do, but I can't predict when it's gonna rain and when it's not gonna rain. If it rains for 2 weeks or it rains for a month, the grass is gonna be high, so they're gonna be mad because you didn't come and mow the lawn. And well, nothing I can do about it. It's a weather condition. I'm like, hey. But that's another problem I run through. Oh, guys. And then, well, the situation that I'm going through now with customers having me to spend my money and not pay me for something that they want, and if it doesn't work out, then I'm losing money. But I'm not going to involve no more of my money in stuff anymore. If somebody wants something, you're gonna have to just pay up front. That's just gonna be the way it is. I'm like, I would take care of it. Would take care of it. I'm not gonna be taking care of anything anymore. I'm not gonna put my money anymore. Just forget it. No. And I can understand, but I'm gonna just explain to the customer what's been going on and reason why things have turned out this way. Because I'm like, man, I've lost a lot of money just starting this year. Everything looked like it's just been on a downfall for me this year. Dealing with customers, just dealing with some crazy stuff. Oh, let me tell y'all about this one. I've been mowing this. It was a yard I had been mowing for about 5 years. And I show up and I'm mowing this yard, mowing this yard. So then this guy comes out, and I don't know him, and I guess whatever it was. Normally it was the guy, it was his father-in-law. So he's telling me, he says, "Oh yeah, well we got all them leaves, and y'all don't pick those up and this and that." I said, "Well, that ain't what so and so told me to do." He said, "Oh well, that's the problem. He's a problem. He's just afraid to speak up." I'm like, "Well, he paying me. He could speak up and say whatever he wanted to say if he wanted that taken care of. Well, I got to speak up for him because he don't know." I'm like, "Man, please." Yeah, and y'all know, and we hate to get rid of you and all. You've been with us. I'm like, dude, do me a favor, get rid of me. If I have to deal with somebody like you, I'd rather be away from you because you're really getting on my nerves. This is what I'm thinking in my head. This guy is really getting on my nerves because I'm like, he's crazy. So he's complaining about everything. So I said, okay, I tell you what, you want all those leaves out of that flower bed and you want all of this and that done? I said, okay, that's extra. So I'm gonna spend extra time here today to clean all of that up for you. He said, well, how much? I said, well, you're looking at about $100. So it's gonna be $150. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'll pay that. I finished the lawn. And I cleaned all this up. And so, his son-in-law, he was there and he left and everything. So meanwhile, he said he was gonna pay for that. Well, that didn't happen. That did not happen. So what had happened was he he didn't pay me. So when I went to the door and I said, well, the yard is all cleaned up, all the leaves. I had a lot of leaves where someone had attempted to work on the lawn, and they took and left bags of leaves in the backyard. It was, like 10 bags of leaves that were back there. And I'm like, okay, so I took all those leaves, moved them all out of there, raked them up, and had more leaves in there. Raked all that stuff up. Then I said, well, okay, hey, everything is complete. Old father-in-law was there. He comes back, and he let me tell you what he did. Shows up at the door. He doesn't pay me. He says, oh yeah, well, my son-in-law take care of that. So I invoice him. I send it to the son-in-law. The next day, son-in-law calls me and he says, hey, why is it 150? I said, well, your father-in-law wanted all those leaves and everything and all this and that. He said, what? I said, yeah, he said that. Well, first he told me he was going to pay, and then he didn't pay. He said, yeah, he didn't pay because he didn't have no money. He's not supposed to be making no decisions. And I told him, I said, I've done everything that you normally asked me to do. And he said, well, yeah, you was done what I wanted done, and that was fine with me. But then he up here and making decisions. He said, man, he said, this guy showed up in my house and supposed to only been staying here for 2 weeks, and now he said he ended up being here for 2 years. He wanted him gone. I say, man, if I had a father-in-law like that, I say, as soon as I catch him gone, I would take him, put me some new locks on the door. Put some new locks. Don't let him in. Do not let him back in here. He got to go. Loafering off of your son-in-law, oh man. But that's another thing, I've been going through, y'all. I'm hearing all kinds of crazy stuff, dealing with kind of craziness. Yeah, I can just go on and tell y'all all the kind of stuff I go through on here. And I hear all kinds of stories and all kinds of problems. And, oh, God. It's kind of like, that time of, you could hear all the stories when you sit in the barber shop. Everybody had these problems and... I hear. I get all these problems in the lawn care. I tell you, there's a lot of people come and be glad that you come in to mow the lawn and everything. They haven't seen you in a while. They be like, "Oh yeah, I was wondering when you was coming and how you been doing." Hey, I'm doing all right, you know. But I'm here again to mow your lawn and take care of it again. Great, great. They be happy. And you get those other kinds where that you invoice them and then you have to remind them, hey, you didn't pay me. I wouldn't. You did. You mowed. Hey, listen. When your yard is mowed, I invoice you right after that. It's gonna be invoice, cause you gotta have the money to keep going. You know, so it's just all kinds of stuff I go through when I'm doing this lawn care. Y'all never know. Y'all don't know behind the scenes. You don't know the problems. Oh, here's another one. Let me tell y'all why it's on my mind. Customers, you're mowing this customer's yard, and then the neighbor has a problem with you mowing the customer's yard. They got a problem with you mowing the customer's yard. Some leaves and oh hey, well why you cutting it like that and all this. Hey, if you got a problem with it, go talk to him. I'll tell them what you said. Oh no, I'm just telling you. Hey, listen, if you got a problem with what I'm doing, they hired me to come do the job. Now there seems to be a problem with me doing the job and what they instructed me to do and what they want, and now you're the neighbor. So if there's a problem with what I'm doing, then you need to go over here and talk to your neighbor about it. I would not be here if it wasn't for your neighbor calling me because they wanted it cleaned up. So you telling me not to clean it up, not to rake those up because of what? Because that's what you want and what you feel. Well, you need to talk to your neighbor about all of this. Why are you talking to me? I need to finish this up. That kind of stuff, I go through dealing with some of these neighbors, man, they be at it for years, fighting and, oh man, you just don't know half the stuff I done went through, y'all. It's some crazy stuff. You see me out here, you see me mow a lot of lawns, but you never know what I done went through out here mowing all these lawns and all the problems and, it is one thing after another and, oh God. So I can't make it seem like it's just all howdy doody. Oh, we're gonna have some fun. Oh, howdy doody. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna mow these yards. Oh, this is the greatest thing ever. No, it ain't like that, y'all. It's not like that. It's crazy out here. You get people, impatient people. They want something right away, and it can't be right away. You got to schedule them like, hey. And you get the people that want something for nothing. They don't want to pay nothing. They feel that you should do it for free. And it's like, hey, you can only do so much for free before you go broke in this stuff. You got bills too. You got insurance. You got a lot of taxes. Oh, a lot of stuff you got to be involved with. And it just, I don't know. But anyway, y'all, hey, I'm just giving y'all some of my lawn care experiences and what I've been going through out here. But I hope y'all enjoyed some of the stories and some of the events I was telling y'all about. But I'm finna get out of here. I didn't want to just keep going on because I could go on telling y'all a lot of stuff that have happened out here. And I have mentioned some of the stuff in some other videos of different stories of what I've been out on and different adventures of doing lawn care. But I'm gonna save that for another time. But hey, y'all, let me get out of here. And I'm gonna try to. I hope that this week is gonna be good. It doesn't be a lot of rain, so I'm gonna see if I can hopefully do some lawns tomorrow. If I can get out there and actually mow some lawns, and if I'm able to do some, I will share that with y'all. If I'm able to do it. But anyway, I hope each and every one of y'all have a good week, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care. Have a good one. Bye.